Genesis chapter 30. Verse 1. And when Rachel had borne Joseph, Jacob said unto Laban, Send me away, that I may go unto mine own place and to my country. Verse 2. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done for thee. Verse 3. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord hath blessed me for thy sake. Verse 4. And he said unto him, Thou knowest that I have served Rachel with all my might, yet she hath not borne me children, and she also bath a servant, Bilhah. Verse 5. And his servant Bilhah bare Jacob a son. Verse 6. Then Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son, therefore called she his name Benjamin. Verse 7. And Rachel's servant Bilhah bare Jacob a second time. Verse 8. And Rachel said with her voice, Cast out the damsel, I will not live, lest I die. Verse 9. And it came to pass, when her soul had poured out, that she died, and she was buried under an oak which was in the high places of Ephron the son of Zoba. Verse 10. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go. Verse 11. That there shall not be in my house idols before thee, but he shall worship the Lord God. Verse 12. Then his wives gave every one her servant maid, Rachel had Bilhah, Leah also had Zilpah. Verse 13. And Leah said, Hired is my servant, take her therefore to thyself, and bear upon her. Verse 14. So she gave him Zilpah her maid for a wife, and Jacob went in unto her. Verse 15. And Bilhah bare Jacob a son also. Verse 16. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath heard my voice, and hath given me a son, therefore called she his name Nachon. Verse 17. And Leah saw that she had left the bearing of children, and was jealous, and Leah rose up and went to Jacob, and said, Give me children, or else I die. Verse 18. And Jacob her husband said unto her, Thou art in league with God rather than with me, why hast thou borne me a man? Verse 19. Then she said, Hitherto hath the Lord taken from thee to give it me, for in that season the Lord saw that I was hated, and he opened my womb. Verse 20. And then also did Rachel conceive and bear a son, and gave after his birth the children were at peace. Verse 21. And when Rachel had weaned him, Jacob made an account of it, saying to Laban, If thou wilt do this thing for me I shall give thee all my goods. Verse 22. But Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wives and my children that I may go in mine own place and to my country. Verse 23. And his daughters answered them, and said, What shall we take from our father's house in this manner, seeing he hath nothing left but us? Verse 24. Then Jacob their father rebuked them, saying, My sons, I have heard that Rachel and Leah have borne sons to me. Verse 25. And I had not seen the children, now therefore my daughters, if ye be under my curse, bear them. Verse 26. Take them, I pray thee, and let them go, for my wives have been with me a long time, but none of them was born until now. Verse 27. And it came to pass when he had finished speaking unto his daughter Leah and unto her 2 sons and unto Rachel and her 1 son that the children did bear him sons. Genesis chapter 31. Verse 1. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of our fathers hath he gotten all these riches. Verse 2. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and, behold, it was not towards him as in times past. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto thy country, and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. Verse 4. Then Jacob rose up, and set his sons, and his wives, upon camels. Verse 5. And he carried away all his substance, and also the strange cattle, and the cattle of his houses, and the men whom he had received of the hand of Laban. Verse 6. And Jacob went over this river, and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. Verse 7. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. Verse 8. And he said, I am God, the God of Abraham thy father, fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. Verse 9. I will perform those things that thou desirest unto thee, and though Abraham and Isaac were afflicted, I will also deal graciously with thee, and multiply thee. Verse 10. Then Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go. Verse 11. And if he will give bread unto me, and raiment, lest I come to my father empty. Verse 12. Then his wife's brothers and her mother sent unto him, saying, Blessed be thou of the Lord, because thou hast taken Laban's daughter under thy wing. Verse 13. And she said, Husbands and wives we were a little at variance about her. Verse 14. And they said, Doth he make all to flourish? Is not he our brother? Behold, we have 10 sons, in desolation also he shall be multiplied. Verse 15. Then took Rachel his wife the images that were his household gods, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sent before him. Genesis chapter 32. Verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, when lo a certain man met him. Verse 2. And he said, How is it that thou passest along by this way, seeing thou art from the house of Benjamin? Verse 3. And he said unto him, Behold now I dwell in this place, and it is near to escape into the mountain of Ephraim, and I am taking my brethren to Shechem. Verse 4. For they said unto me, Thou shalt not return unto thy father's house, lest thou shouldst be grieved at the death of thy brethren. Verse 5. And now thy servant hath waited for his wages, but what is come into the hand? Verse 6. So he said unto him, What are these that I see? A company meeteth Esau's coming along the top of it. And he lift up his eyes, and saw the company. Verse 7. And Jacob said, Nay, but if I have found favor in thine eyes, then receive my present at my hand, for therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the countenance of God. Verse 8. And he took them, and presented them unto his brother Esau. Verse 9. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I met? Verse 10. And he said, These were a gift. Verse 11. Then he said, What meaneth their drive? And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. Verse 12. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on. Verse 13. So that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. Verse 14. And this stone, which I have set for a pillar, shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me I will surely give the tenth unto thee.